Good day, everyone. I'm Michael, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Safety Culture Reset, How to Reignite Engagement and Build a World-Class Program. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our presenter for today, Joe Kinnan. Joe Kinnan is a highly experienced environmental health and safety, EHS, and human resource HR professional and management consultant with over 25 years of experience. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Joe.
All right. Well, good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're logging in. Thank you so much for participating. Got a very timely and important topic to cover. So we're going to be talking about how to do a safety culture reset. And we're going to be covering a lot of ground today. The beliefs, customs, arts, etc. of a particular society, group, place, or time. And it's also a way of thinking, behaving, or working that exists in a place or organization. Why is it important to have a safety culture? Some questions to ask, and these are rhetorical, but these are takeaways. How does an organization move up the safety culture model? Is what's called the OSHA Voluntary Protection Program, or VPP. It's the highest award in health and safety excellence that OSHA presents to a plant. And it's a partnership or collaboration with management, labor, and OSHA to create a world-class safety culture. Let's talk about the Voluntary Protection Program. With the VPP, there are 4 key elements. This says 5, but 2 are grouped together. This is a little bit of a busy slide. Elements and sub-elements of the VPP, you can see it's very comprehensive in nature. Management, commitment, and employee involvement are complementary. They go together. You cannot have, and that's why they're grouped together now. So worksite analysis involves a variety of worksite examinations to identify not only existing hazards, but conditions and operations where changes might occur to create hazards. Triggered by a determination that a hazard or potential hazard exists. Safety and health training, last but not least, very critical. But let's talk about some benchmarks, metrics of a world-class safety culture. But some common denominators, give some key takeaways here, some actionable items. It's critical to always be mindful of the message you are sending as a supervisor or manager or directly. Are you setting the right example? Safety best practice sharing is critical. It's very easy to roll out, very simple but very effective. You want to manage safety by walking around. A great example of this is encourage near miss reporting. Safety culture reset, critical to get proactive safety metrics in place if you don't have them, or if you do, enhance them. Now, some examples. If you don't have a safety committee in place, I highly encourage you to get one. And if you have one, you want to make sure it's effective and become an active and contributing member. Last part of the presentation I want to spend some time on is behavioral safety. Behavior-based safety is an important element in achieving a zero injury rate and going beyond traditional safety. It's important to note that focusing on behavior does not necessarily mean blame the employee. Behavior is an observable act. It can be measured. It can be quantified. So what is a safe behavior? A safe behavior is an act or action that we can see or observe that does not increase the risk of injury, illness, property damage, or process interruption. An at-risk behavior is the opposite, right? So an at-risk behavior is an act or action that we observe that increases the chances for somebody to get hurt or seriously killed. The other thing we want to do is avoid what we call the safety roller coaster. Influences on behavior. So behavior is influenced by both attitudes and organizational culture. Attitudes are an individual internal guide to behavior. Kind of jump the gun here, but instead of measuring behavior, why not measure attitudes? So what do we mean by barriers influencing safe behavior? Here's some examples. Personal factors, job factors, also training, rewards and recognition, and site culture. You can see safe behavior is often blocked by these barriers. The observation process is conducted on an anonymous basis. There's no name, no blame. And so some additional points, and then we'll wrap up. Each observation is conducted by somebody that's been trained as an observer. I am a big advocate of the American Society of Safety Professionals, or ASSP. What are some things you immediately can do to take back to your organization to promote a safety culture? But hopefully this gave you some tools and tips that you can take back immediately to consider implementing in your organization. Once again, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your input, but please don't, I'm not saying you would, but please don't underestimate them. I mean, just the creativity I've seen of hourly employees has just been absolutely amazing. So with that, we'll close it out and we'll turn it to the moderator for close.
Once again, thank you, Joe, for the great presentations. And to all the participants, if your questions was not answered due to technical issue, please feel free to email us. And so that does conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.